Well, it's a very warm welcome and thank you for joining me on this independent off-tube studio commentary. It's the 3 p.m. kickoff from the Brentford Community Stadium as a Brentford take on a Brighton and Hove Albion. Referee Graham Scott has just got the game underway. The players have taken the knee to rapturous applause here at the Brentford Community Stadium. We are underway. Long ball played straight away towards the edge of the Brighton penalty area. Fighting for it now is Janelt, but it's Bissouma that then rolls that ball back to Robert Sanchez. The ball cleared towards the halfway line. It's important for both sides to get a good start here. Brentford with that great win against Arsenal on the opening night of the season. Followed that up with a draw away at Palace where they could have lost. And then a draw away at Villa where they started well but perhaps just a little bit defensive towards the end of the game. And they'll certainly be looking for a positive start at home today. Whereas Brighton started the season with that win away at Burnley. Followed that up with a win at home to Watford and lost at home to Everton last time out before the international break. There was also a cup win for both sides earlier in the month of August, with Brentford beating Forest Green Rovers and Brighton winning away at Cardiff City. But it is now Brighton trying to push forward down the right-hand side. Ball just goes out of play after that pass. Madam Webster, just remind you of the two teams very quickly. It is David Raya in goal for Brentford with a back three of Christopher Ager, Pontus Jansson and Ethan Pinnock. The three central midfielders are Christian Norgard, Shandon Baptiste and Vitaly Janelt, with Sergi Canos and Rico Henry as the two men out wide. Brian Mbeumo and Ivan Toney are the two up front for Brighton. Robert Sanchez in goal with the back three of Adam Webster, Shane Duffy and Lewis Dunk. The four across the middle are Joel Veltman, Adam Lallana, Yves Bissouma and Cucurella, with Leandro Trossard, Danny Welbeck and former Brentford man Neil Maupay as the three attacking players. Brentford now on the attack down the left-hand side. Veltman puts it out for a throw, quickly taken by Rico Henry. Off down the left-hand side, just gets stopped in his tracks though by Veltman. Ball now cleared down the right-hand side, and Jansson gets across and heads that one out. Beats Danny Welbeck to the ball. Certainly a bit of pace in that Brighton attack this afternoon, which is something that Thomas Frank's side are going to have to keep in mind. As I mentioned in the intro, Brentford started the season at home against Arsenal and haven't played at home since then, and had the international break to that. This is the first league game Brentford have played for pretty much a month since that win against Arsenal. So they've won the ball back here down the left-hand side. Rico Henry just gets stopped there by Adam Lallana. Ball now out for a throw down the left-hand side. 3 minutes gone. It is goalless. No goals to tell you about early on in the Premier League, although Cristiano Ronaldo is making his debut, his second debut for Manchester United today, as they take on Newcastle. The early result in the Premier League, Crystal Palace beating Spurs, who before today hadn't conceded a goal and had won their first 3 games by a goal to nil, but Espirito Santo's side losing 3-0 away at Palace today, with a marked improvement from Patrick Vieira's side, it has to be said. Now it's a throw to Brentford again down the left-hand side. Brighton doing what they can here to try and press early, and that is the way to get some joy against Brentford. The easiest way for Brentford to get into their stride is for teams to back off and give the Bees time on the ball and allow them to get into an attacking frame of mind. If Brighton press high up the field and win that ball back of Brentford early, that gives them a chance to try and push back on the home side. But it is Brighton in possession. Long way inside their own half here now with Lewis Dunk. Need to go back towards Robert Sanchez. Ivan Toney just runs straight into Shane Duffy there. A little bit, I think he was just trying to show the referee that Duffy was trying to slow down. I don't think there was a foul in that one anyway. Long clearance now towards the halfway line. Cucurella takes this one down, tries to get away from Baptiste, finds Welbeck, back to Cucurella. And now it's with Leandro Trossard going back towards Lewis Dunk. He tries a long ball to switch play over towards Maupay. That one's headed away, and Janelt now wins the ball back for Brentford, but that's not a good ball back to Janelt from Pontus Jansson. But he's just a little bit erratic now in midfield, and Brighton in possession again now here with Leandro Trossard. Looks ahead to try and feed that ball through to Welbeck. It gets charged down. Mbeumo now picks the ball up for Brentford. He's under pressure from 3 Brighton players. Goes over towards Rico Henry on the left-hand side. Back into midfield now here with Christian Norgard. Norgard inside here, finding a bit of space now for Rico Henry. Over towards Pontus Jansson. And Brentford not really rushing to get forward here, just quite happy to keep possession. Ball now played back towards David Raya. And Raya now looks up, just feeds a short ball over towards Christopher Ager, whose former Celtic teammate Odsonne Edouard had an amazing debut for Palace earlier today. 15 seconds he was on the pitch before he got his first goal off the bench, and then wrapped the game up late on to give Palace the 3-0 win. It was Wilfred Zaha that got the scoring underway for Palace from the penalty spot. Spurs finished that game with 10 men as well after 2 yellow cards for Japhet Tanganga. But back to action here at the Brentford Community Stadium. 5 minutes gone. We're a couple of minutes behind the other games in the Premier League, so just a bit of a late start. It is Brighton seeing a bit more of the ball in these early stages. Joel Veltman now going back towards Adam Webster. Sanchez under a bit of pressure there from Tony. Rushed his clearance slightly, but it still found Cucurella, who then clashes there with Sergi Canos. It's an all-Spanish clash there. Cucurella and Canos both from Spain, but our referee Graham Scott just coming across, and is he getting his card out here for Canos? Canos is leading with the arm. It's not the best challenge there from the Brentford number 7. It has to be said, and he does catch Cucurella there as a flush, and Canos is going to get a booking here. He's trying to argue that all he was doing was trying to get on the ball, but I think there was just a little bit too much in that. Canos and Cucurella there just making up after that clash, but it is going to be a booking, an early booking here for the Brentford right winger. It's going to be a free kick to Brighton now down the left-hand side. A slow starter in this game so far. Nothing really to speak of in terms of any chances in front of goal. A long free kick now from Dunk. One for Welbeck to chase down this left-hand side. Has he won his side a corner? He has. It's been marked there by Christopher Ager. And Welbeck acknowledges that the ball to him was a good one as well. To put that Brentford defence under pressure straight away. So now Brighton have their first set piece of the afternoon. Good chance to send Duncan, Duffy and Webster into the box. Try and get on the end of this. And then the 3 protagonists that I just mentioned, they're all waiting at the edge of the area. It's a short corner which is immediately charged down by Mbeumo, and then the ball goes out for a throw. So it's not a particularly successful corner kick routine there from the visitors. They've got a throw now level with the edge of the penalty area. Cucurella gets the ball back after a quick throw towards Yves Bissouma. The ball now cleared into midfield. Brighton back in possession here now with Adam Webster. Looked over towards the right-hand side as Joel Veltman there as an outlet, and that's where the ball has gone. Now it's Welbeck who's carried on the run. He wants the ball back there from Veltman. Gets stopped there by Ethan Pinnock, so the ball's out for a throw. Picked up by Veltman on the right-hand side. A couple of options here. Gets the ball back from Trossard, fighting for it there on that right touchline, but the ball is cleared and it is out for a Brighton throw. Webster now going back towards the halfway line for Shane Duffy. As the visitors taking a good control of this game early on, not really allowing Brentford to have any time on the ball. That's a good long ball down the right-hand side, headed back towards the edge of the area now for Neal Maupay. Maupay back to Veltman, who was in a very advanced position there, heading that ball at the edge of the area. Veltman tries a cute ball into the box, and he does find Trossard. The angle is tight. Trossard plays a ball across the 6-yard box, but it's then volleyed away by Sergi Canos, out for a throw to Brighton down the left-hand side. Ball now taken towards the edge. Lallana flicks that one into the box, but that one is too close to David Raya. We'll just be happy to get his hands on the ball and just slow things down, because it's been a bright few minutes here for Brighton. Looked confident on the ball. They've pushed Brentford back, but yet they've perhaps lacked that killer pass to really put the Bees under pressure. But the ball now again played down the right-hand side. Veltman is chasing it again. And the ball is now picked off, and Norgard can bring the ball out here for Brentford. He plays it short to Henry, who then tries to turn, and as he turns, he's fouled there by Joel Veltman. And so that is going to be a free kick to Brentford. You can see there, it's just a little bit of a contact there on Rico Henry. Free kick now taken short, ball played up towards Mbeumo, who touches it back to Tony. Tony goes for goal, and it's just over the bar. Ivan Toney shooting from all of 45, if not further yards. That's a great effort but the ball just over the bar. He saw that Sanchez had just wandered off his line, but in the end decided to take the shot on very early, flicked it with the outside of the boot, and it was over the bar. It was always just a little bit too high, but it certainly wasn't a bad effort from Ivan Toney. Ball now back in play. He's trying to just keep the pressure on here, trying to keep a bit of possession after this bright start from the visitors, but once again Brighton win the ball back in midfield, and it's with Lewis Dunk towards Adam Webster, being closed down there by Toney. Has been an impressive start, not just in this game but in this season from Brighton. I think Graham Potter would have been looking for progress last season, a little bit stagnated at one stage, but brought in a couple of players, and it just seems as though there is a bit more of a spring in the step from Brighton this season. I'll certainly be hoping that a good start continues for as long as possible. But it is Brentford just seeing a little bit more of the ball now. Janelt plays a short ball to Henry. Now it's with Toney, tries to backheel that ball towards Janelt. He gets charged down. And the ball now cleared up towards the halfway line. Taken down by Mopé. Looking for options, just leaves the ball now for Yves Bissouma over towards Veltman on the right hand side. A couple of options there for Joel Veltman, but he preferred to just go back towards Adam Webster. As the visitors still enjoying an advantage in possession. Long ball over the top now, looking for Welbeck as he was chasing that one down, but the ball easily ends up with goalkeeper David Raya. Quickly stepped out from his own penalty area. Now looks up to see what options he's got, but already he sees two Brighton players right in front of him, so he prefers just to play a pass over towards the left hand side here for Henry, whose ball is charged down there by Veltman, but it deflects back in towards Rico Henry. Picked up now on the halfway line here with Mbeumo, leaves the ball for a Norgard, and now a chance here for Brentford to go as Baptiste plays the ball out towards the right hand side. He finds Canos on his left foot, puts the ball into the box. Whether it was a cross or a shot, it was disappointing in any case there from Canos. Didn't really put enough power onto that one. It was a left footed effort, charged down by Lewis Dunk. The ball's now out for a throw to Brentford down the right hand side. Looking to try and keep up a little bit of pressure here now. Ball going down the right hand side towards the corner flag. It deflects out, and I think that's going to be another throw. Cucurella there with the last touch. Ball now going back to Canos, whose cross is charged down, and then Cucurella diving onto that one and sweeping it up towards the halfway line. But Brentford trying straight away to get that ball back into an attacking position. So that Brighton midfield is standing firm, although the ball does get through to Toney. Just rushed his past a little bit there to try and get it to Baptiste. And in the end, the ball is now back with Brighton goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. Just rolls the ball out towards Shane Duffy. And the visitors not looking too flustered at the moment. It's been a confident start here from Brighton, just like it's been a little bit of a slow start here from the Bees. But that said, still no real work for either goalkeeper, just a little bit more activity perhaps in front of Raya's goal. But here come Brighton now. That's a lovely ball threaded through towards Danny Welbeck, whose strike is well saved by Raya. But the speed in which Brighton put that attack together, that must be the concern there for Brentford. It was Trossard held the ball up and nobody tracked the run of Danny Welbeck. Broke into the penalty area. He was just losing his balance as he got his shot away, which might have just taken a little bit of the power off and didn't get quite as much curl as he would have liked. So that allowed Raya to make a comfortable save in the end. And Pinnock now rolling this ball back towards Pontus Jansson. Jansson now under pressure, finds Ajer, who's also under pressure, and he puts the ball out, but it does deflect out from Leandro Trossard, so it will be a throw to Brentford. Graham Potter now looking pretty calm on the touchline. Not a manager that tends to show too much emotion on the touchline, likes to sort of keep things fairly composed. He'll be pleased with this start. Just the last couple of minutes that might be concerning him a bit more as Brentford just look to get on the ball a bit, and here they do now down the left hand side with that's a bit unlucky from the Bees' point of view, and Mbeumo, just as he tried to go on the run, the ball just deflected away from him. and went out rather harmlessly, and for a throw to Brighton down the right-hand side. Veltman into Bissouma. Veltman then passes to Trossard. First time pass back to Lallana, but the Bees win the ball back in midfield. Norgard finding Rico Henry. And then a challenge there from Adam Webster. Now, Webster's put the ball out for a throw. I don't think there's any debate about that. But was it a foul as well? I think potentially it was. Yeah, the referee deciding that it's going to be a free kick as Mbeumo got there. Well, I'm not so sure. I think that Webster is trying to go for the ball. Just a little bit of an elbow pushing out at Mbeumo. That might have just swung it in the referee's favour, that it should be a free kick to the home side. And this is a good opportunity for Brentford, who've struggled to get anything from open play in the first 15 minutes. Tony there just lurking at the edge of the area, trying to find his chance to go after this. And Mbeumo, his strike partner, is standing over the ball. It's over on the left-hand side. It's going to be a left-footed outswinger from Mbeumo. Janelt and Baptiste both waiting at the edge of the box as well, if perhaps, as is Rico Henry. So Mbeumo may have some options to play this ball square as well. Just have to wait and see what Mbeumo wants to do. But the referee happy now that the free kick can be taken. And just looking at the amount of steps that Mbeumo's taking, looks like he's going to be whipping this one in directly into the penalty area, which is precisely what he does. Puts a bit of whip on that one. It's a good header away by Shane Duffy. A fight for it in midfield, but that's good work from Mbeumo to win the ball back, or maybe not. Referee deciding that in the end, just a little bit too keen to stop that counter-attack. And it's a second yellow card for a Brentford player inside the first 16 minutes. Canos got booked early on. And now it's a booking for Brian Mbeumo as well. And he knows what he's doing. He's pulling back on the shirt there. It was deliberate there on Neil Maupay. Well, it's the second time we've seen that. Canos got booked for a foul on his fellow countryman. And Mbeumo, exactly the same now. He gets pulled up for a foul on Neil Maupay. One Frenchman fouling another. Still goalless here at the Brentford Community Stadium. It's still goalless across all the 3 o'clock kickoffs in the Premier League. Arsenal, Norwich, Leicester, Man City, Man United, Newcastle, Southampton, West Ham, Watford, Wolves, and this game, Brentford, Brighton, all goalless so far. The later game coming up on this service is Chelsea against Aston Villa, as Brighton now get caught in possession inside their own half. Veltman loses the ball a bit too easily. Here's Shandon Baptiste now for Brentford, rolling it out towards the left-hand side. Henry's low ball into the box is picked up by Lallana and then cleared by Veltman with a bit of a deflection as well. The ball still stays in play, and it goes straight back towards Baptiste. He tries to feed Tony, who's been harassed there by 2 players, and the referee Graham Scott, with a little bit of a delay, decides that it's going to be a free kick to Brentford, and it's in a good position as well. The Brighton players are fuming about this. Brentford want to take it quickly, and I think the referee's probably done them a favour by saying you've got to wait for the whistle, because they're already potentially going to lose that ball. Tony just put it down and tried to play it square immediately. But as Baptiste gets the ball into Tony, I think that Webster probably does get more of the man than he does of the ball there. It's always a bit of a risky challenge, sort of sliding in from the side just outside your own penalty area. And this is a good opportunity for Brentford now from the set piece. It's one of those where it's so central that it's almost no point in trying to pass it, because if either you play it square for someone to get a shot in, but if you try and loft the ball into the box, the defenders and the goalkeeper are going to see it coming a mile off. So it might be one of those where it's actually more advisable to have a shot at goal. Janelt and Mbeumo and Canos are all standing over this one. So options here for Brentford either way, but the referee just making sure that wall is back 10. And Brighton have got 4 players in the wall. They've also got 2 players stood just to the side of the wall as well. They really are trying to cover all their bases. Robert Sanchez, just like most modern goalkeepers, has stood way over on his left-hand side. So he's almost encouraging Canos to try and curl it over the wall and get it into that top corner. But Canos is the only right footer standing over this one. Janelt now with his back to goal is either going to tee this up for Mbeumo or for Canos. We'll see how Brentford want to take this set piece. The referee is unhappy. He wants to just stop this before the free kick is taken. Just explaining to Norgard and Baptiste that they can't obstruct the wall. There's a little bit of shenanigans before any kind of a free kick like this, but Canos has had plenty of time to measure this out. It's actually set up here for Mbeumo, who then lofts it into Tony. Tony heads it towards goal, but he lifts it over the bar and it hits the roof of the net. It was an intricate free kick there from Brentford. I thought initially as though they might have just overcomplicated it a little bit, But it wasn't a bad... It was a good ball to find Tony. Perhaps Tony would have been better advised to try and head that square to try and find a teammate. In the end, he lifts that one over the bar. It never really looked like it was threatening Robert Sanchez's goal. But a good response this from Brentford after the first 10-12 minutes. Easily Brighton had the advantage, seeing more of the ball and looking more expansive. Now it's Brentford who've responded with a bit of midfield possession themselves. But here come Brighton now with Leandro Trossard. That's well stopped though by Shandon Baptiste. And he goes back to Canos. Canos' ball towards the halfway line is stopped by Lewis Dunk. He goes back to Sanchez, who's being closed down by Mbeumo. But along with Duffy and Webster, the three of them are able to take care of that danger. The ball now played up towards the halfway line as Mopé takes it down and plays it into Joel Veltman. Veltman going back in towards Webster. Webster looking up for options. Just stepping away there from Janelt, playing it back towards... playing the ball back towards Veltman. His ball over towards Neil Mopé is headed away, but it's won back in midfield by Yves Bissouma. Bissouma being closed down, square to Veltman. He's being closed down by Henry, but he plays an early ball for Bissouma to chase. Should be Ethan Pinnock that gets there first. He does the right thing there, Pinnock, as well. Just gets his body in front of Bissouma, who then rather clumsily falls into the Brentford centre-back there, Bissouma. But it was pretty obvious that he'd already fouled Pinnock, and then he steps on his right hand as well with the studs. That's really careless from Bissouma. There's absolutely no intent whatsoever. I'm not for a second suggesting that Bissouma wanted to make any sort of harder contact there with Ethan Pinnock, but it was just a bit careless the way he fouled the man and then just sort of didn't do enough to perhaps get that foot out the way. As the camera now focuses on Matthew Benham, the Brentford owner. You could say that both clubs in this game today have got very forward-thinking ownership. You have to say that Tony Bloom has worked miracles at Brighton, just like Matt Benham has done at Brentford. There's certainly no doubt about that. These are clubs that certainly I remember from my youth. Both teams really struggling financially at one stage. Brentford on the verge of being made homeless towards the end of the 90s, the start of the noughties, and Brighton, of course, for many years homeless, having to share with Gillingham at one stage and then playing in that Goldstone ground, which never really was ideal. But certainly both clubs can look forward to a much brighter future now. And this game so far, it's been played at a decent pace, but both sides are just cancelling each other out a little bit in midfield, not seeing too much in front of goal. Referee Graham Scott just calling for a bit of order here. There was a bit of a strong clash here on the right touchline. And I think the referee is now just warning Veltman that's your second foul. And Veltman's walking away from the referee, which is just annoying Graham Scott a little bit as well. Dutchman just being told off there. And it was a bit of a clumsy trip there on Rico Henry. I don't think he can have any complaints about the free kick. The referee showing him 2. I think that's basically telling Veltman that if he does any more of those, he's going to get booked. But a long clearance now from Raya. Finds Ivan Toney, gets all the way to the penalty area and lays this off for Mbeumo, who smashes that one a long way over the bar. That was a really poor effort from Mbeumo, and he's looking towards the referee like it's obvious that there should be a corner kick. I must say that looking at it live, I couldn't really see any argument for that, but it's a great clearance. Well, it's a great ball from Raya. It was clearing the ball down the left-hand side, but it ended up like a good ball to Toney, who was never offside. It's a good cross. It's a great cross, really, from Toney, right onto the left foot of Mbeumo, which is exactly where he wants it. I don't think there's any scope to say there was a deflection, and even if there was, it's not the deflection that took it wide. It was just completely overhit there by Brian Mbeumo. 24 minutes gone, independent off-tube studio commentary. Brentford 0, Brighton have Albion 0, but Brighton have been caught in possession inside their own half, and again it's Mbeumo with a poor effort over the bar. He should have done a little bit better with that one. Rushed it a little bit when he saw his chance, and in the end, ball going wide, but it was Veltman just caught in possession there by Janel. Ball fed through towards Mbeumo, and he pinged it with the left foot, but it was always rising there from the Brentford number 19. And a goal kick now to be taken by Robert Sanchez. We can see Thomas Frank and his assistants will be fairly pleased with the way the game has turned more in Brentford's favour in the last 10 minutes or so, but they'll be a little bit disappointed by the couple of half chances that perhaps haven't been as well converted yet as the manager would like. Mr. Farage with a header out. It's going to be a throw to Brighton down the left-hand side. Left back Cucurella waiting to take this one. Got a couple of options. Throws that one into Lallana. Immediately turns away from Janelt and plays that ball in towards Adam Webster. Now it's with Joel Veltman down the right-hand side, being closed down by Rico Henry. And Rico Henry does give the free kick away. The referee wanted to play an advantage. It was a slight push there from Henry. It's not much of a foul, but it's enough to put the Brighton man off. And referee Graham Scott waited for an advantage, but within a couple of seconds the ball was blocked by another Brentford player, so the referee decided the safest thing to do to accommodate for that foul was to give the free kick. And it's Trossard, right footer, and Cucurella, left footer, standing over this one for Brighton. Cucurella thought about it, leaves it though for Trossard, who lifts that one a long way into the penalty area. And there's no chance of any Brighton player getting on the end of that one. Out for a goal kick. You can see Graham Potter now. I'm sure he'll be looking for a side just to take a bit more, just to take the game by the scruff of the neck. They started positively here, Brighton, of that there is no doubt. But since then, they have just struggled to get on the ball. I think that Graham Potter would just like to see his side be a little bit more positive in how they get on. But the ball is now out on the right-hand side. It is out for a throw. There's Veltman waiting to take this one. Brighton just trying to get into the game a little bit more. And Veltman now on the ball, looking for options. Still can't see a teammate that he could get the ball to. He's looking for a slightly longer throw now. Gets that ball in towards Mopé. Good header out from Ethan Pinnock. And the ball now back over with Joel Veltman. You can see now Brighton just sending a few players further forward here for this throw as well. But it's been quickly won back here by Pinnock. And then Janssen trying to get the ball off Trossard. Trossard still holding onto it on this right touchline, right by the edge of the area. Trossard does really well to get that ball out, and then he finds Mopé. Mopé then back to Bissouma at the edge of the area, quickly cleared by Baptiste. And then a foul, potentially a foul. I thought it could have been a foul there in favour of Brighton. Referee allows play to go on. It's played down the left now. Looking for a chance now potentially for Welbeck to keep the move alive, but he's been robbed of the ball. Canos there trying to get past Cucurella. He's not able to though. And it's now played back towards Lewis Dunk, who was on the halfway line. So Brighton, albeit they couldn't really get that ball into the box, but they don't give possession away. Now a long ball played. It's a great ball as well to find Welbeck. There's no offside. Welbeck holds the ball up and then leaves it here for Cucurella, who then plays it square. But the square ball, just teammates didn't read what he was trying to do there. Ivan Toney is back at the edge of his own box trying to win that ball back. He wasn't able to though. And it's now back with Bissouma at the edge of the Brentford penalty area. He found Lallana, whose pass was blocked. Cucurella then recycles the ball for Brighton and goes back towards Shane Duffy on the halfway line. Now Duffy over towards the right-hand side. As the visitors once again just growing in confidence on the ball. Just as I say that though, a loose ball into midfield is picked off now by Ivan Toney, and he's got a chance now to go down the left-hand side. First to just leave that ball though for Janelt. He plays it square to Baptiste. Christopher Ager joining the attack for Brentford now down the right-hand side. He's got Canos on the overlap, and then Ager carries on his run on the overlap, but the pass from Canos leaves a lot to be desired. And that one just rolls out harmlessly for a goal kick. Still goalless here after 29 minutes. As is the case everywhere else. You'd have thought a Saturday afternoon, which has so many games kicking off at 3 o'clock. You'd have seen one by the 31-minute mark, but still goalless right across the board. In fact, even dipping into the Championship, there aren't too many goals being scored in the Championship today either so far. It's a defensive day so far across the leagues. It's Brentford now just trying to keep the ball up again, as we can see one of the Brentford subs there, Zanka Jorgensen, joining a pretty large Danish camp that they already has been at Brentford for some time. No surprise, of course, with Thomas Frank, the manager, his coaches, and of course business interests for the Brentford owner Matt Benham owning FC Midtjylland as well. So it's no surprise that free agent Jorgensen was snapped up now, but with a little bit of a break in play. It's Pontus Jansson who's complaining about a hand injury. We'll see if the Beast captain is going to come back on the field or not. But whilst that's being checked over, both teams have used that as an unofficial timeout. Just run to the manager's bench, have a quick word, pick up some instructions for the last 15 minutes of this first half, which has been tough going at times for both teams. It's not been a great spectacle so far in terms of chances in front of goal, that's for sure. And we can see now referee Graham Scott just asking for a play to be restarted. It's with goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. He's in no rush, just looking to try and play this one long this time. Head up in the air by Welbeck. The loose ball drops now towards Bissouma, who's off down the left-hand side. He's gone down in a heap, and referee isn't interested. This isn't going to be a free kick to Brighton. Brentford have just kicked the ball out to see what's happened to Yves Bissouma here. I mean, certainly the way he reacted, it was like he was really badly fouled there. Let's have a look. Well, he's trodden on by Norgard, that's for sure. How much intent there is in that, I'm not so sure, though. And I think that Bissouma just needs a moment here to gather himself, but he should be okay. Quick pat on the back from the offender Norgard as well. And will be a throw to Brighton, but you'd imagine that the visitors are just going to roll this ball straight back to Brentford, as it was the Bees that kicked it out to allow Bissouma just a minute to get back on his feet. Ball now played back towards David Raya. They're just thinking, actually, if you were to ask either manager now, how would they feel about the way this first half has gone? I think that Thomas Frank would say that his side perhaps just allowed Brighton to get into too much of a stride in the first half, in the first 15 minutes of the first half, and then after that there was a bit of a response from Brentford, but still not enough really. And Brighton still seeing a bit more of the ball. Brentford, the point I'm trying to make is that Brentford aren't really behaving like a home side at the moment, which is something they did do in their first home game against Arsenal. Use that sort of extra boost of it being the first league game with a full crowd at the new stadium, a Friday night to start the Premier League season. An Arsenal side just a little bit tentative and on the ropes, and it played perfectly into Brentford's hands. But in this match, not a bit of it. Brighton have started organised. They've not allowed Brentford to get into their stride. They've not allowed that home crowd to really get behind Brentford, because there's very little to speak of in terms of attacking chances as an attacking move. Oh, that's a bit unnecessary there. That's a bit unnecessary there from Neal Maupay. I think he should get a yellow card for this. Neal Maupay was in an offside position. The flag went up, the whistle went, and Maupay just out of frustration pushed Ethan Pinnock in the back when the whistle had already gone and he was never going to get on the end of the ball. And that's certainly riled up some of the Brentford fans. Wasn't much of a push, in fairness, but still a little bit unnecessary there from Maupay. He's a player that likes to play with that little bit of aggression. Certainly struggle to find a Leeds United fan that has anything positive to say about Mr. Maupay after a couple of run-ins he's had with Leeds, both at his previous club Brentford and in his current club Brighton as well. 34 minutes gone. It is still 0-0 here at the Brentford Community Stadium, and it is Brighton in possession here with Yves Bissouma. That's not a good ball from him, though. He missed Veltman by about 5 yards, so it's going to be a throw to Brentford. Meanwhile, there's a real problem here, and it's Adam Webster. Now, Adam Webster has gone down on the ground. It hasn't as a result of any challenge, so I'm not really sure what's happened to Webster here. We might just see a replay of that in a moment, but that might explain the really loose pass from Bissouma. It may well be that he'd already glanced across and saw his teammate on the ground, and he was quite deliberately putting the ball out for a free kick. That would make more sense here. Let's just see. It's a ball that's cleared by Webster, and as he clears it, he just seems to be something in his left thigh or his left hamstring as he's clearing that ball with the left foot. Just you can see him grimacing in pain immediately and hitting the deck. So we'll have to wait and see. But it doesn't look good from Adam Webster's point of view, that's for sure. Still looks like he's in a bit of trouble. We'll have to wait and see whether or not he's going to be okay to play on. As it stands now, it is still 0-0. too many chances in the game to really threaten that scoreline so far. But that should hopefully just work as some encouragement for both teams. They should look at their opposition and think that this is a game that they could still easily be winning. So it has to be said that so far hasn't really been too much in front of goal. The best chance of the game, I suppose, was that effort from Ivan Toney from around 40 yards out. Pinged that moving ball and sent it over the goalkeeper and only just over the bar. So yeah, good effort though from Toney. Still being checked over is Adam Webster. He's back up on his feet now, but he's hobbling badly here. I wouldn't like to predict if he's going to come back on the field or not here, Adam Webster. And Brighton are getting ready to make a change, but it's not going to be a like for like. It looks like this is the Polish international Jakub Moder who is getting ready to come on here for Webster. Moder certainly isn't the centre-back, so that may mean that Brighton go to a back four, with Cucurella and Veltman the wide men, and Duffy and Dunk the two in the centre. And then you'd see Trossard on one wing with Moder on the other. That seems to be the plan here for Graham Potter. Still taking a while though for Webster to get off the field. He's in really bad pain there as well, it has to be said. He's walking very gingerly there, but confirmation now that Adam Webster is off the field, and Jakub Moder, who had a decent game against England in midweek, he's on the field now. Certainly that's one drop of the shoulder that's left Carl Walker a long way behind him. But Moder now coming on the field, and obviously he will join that midfield. Brighton will now go to a back four, and I think that is also going to work in Graham Potter's favour, in so much that his side probably went into this game thinking that they needed to be very organised. Well, they did need to be organised in defence, but perhaps he's just thought now, Graham Potter, that his side perhaps don't need to have the flat back three with a back three with two players out wide. Maybe a flat back four is what Brighton would prefer now, just to give them that extra body in midfield and to put a bit more pressure on Brentford, who really haven't got into this game too much. Certainly Brighton look a little bit more accomplished in possession. There's a ball down the left-hand side here to chase for Mbuemo. It's just out of play though. It will be a throw to Brighton. Still deep inside their own half. It's going to be taken by Joel Veltman down the right-hand side. Veltman just looking to see where his teammates are. And, I must say that what surprised me about this game is perhaps maybe we need to give more credit to Brighton, but it's just how perhaps nervous on the ball Brentford seem, or how little of the ball they've seen. But as I say, that may be a case of giving more credit to Brighton for how well they've started and just put the Bees under pressure. It's out for another throw to Brighton, to be taken by Jakub Moder this time. Have Veltman approaching him, but it looks like Moder wants to take this off. No, he doesn't, in fact. He does leave this here for Joel Veltman. Throw from Veltman now heading towards the edge of the box. Ball now dropping towards Trossard. And it's Lallana over towards the left-hand side now for Cucurella. Under pressure, the Cucurella going back towards the halfway line. Now played square towards Veltman. Veltman does well, gets away from Toney, heads towards the right-hand edge of the penalty area. Now playing it square towards Moder. Moder inside now to Bissouma. Bissouma's ball into the box is over here, and Cucurella was arriving inside the penalty area. Canos didn't want to take any chances, and so he slides the ball out for a corner kick. But that was a nice bit of patient possession there from Brighton, playing from right through the middle. It was a good ball from Bissouma, because it put that bit of pressure there on Canos. And I think Canos probably did the right thing as well, because although there was only one player getting close to him, if Canos doesn't do that, there was always a chance Cucurella coming in at full speed could get something out of that. But the ball is now whipped into the penalty area, just flicked away from the edge of the 6-yard box. Picked up now by Lallana, who gets a cross in. Ethan Pinnock then stopping that ball from Lallana. He's also a little bit lucky that he gets a deflection back off Lallana, so it is going to be a Brentford goal kick. It looked as though a corner was the more likely outcome at one stage, but Lallana just a little bit unlucky. Goalkeeper Ryan now taking a short goal kick. Brentford insisting on playing short goal kicks out every time, despite the fact that the majority of the time when when Brentford do have a goal kick. There are so many Brighton players waiting at the edge of the box, just trying to make it as difficult as possible for Brentford to play out from the back. And it's another goal kick to Brentford, and we'll see what does Raya want to do here. Well, once again, there are 3 Brighton players in close proximity, so this time he doesn't take the chance, he hits it long, and that one is headed on by Tony, gets through towards Brian Mbeumo. Back heel from him, now towards Vitaly Janelt, who is being blocked, and eventually goes out for a throw. Now back in his position, and it's Veltman with the throw. Gets it in towards Trossard, who runs straight into Rico Henry. Both sets of players looking towards the referee. Thomas Frank initially didn't want to give the ball back to Leandro Trossard. There's always that side of Thomas Frank's character. Can be a bit of a provocative manager sometimes. I suppose you see that with quite a few characters in football, that when they play for your club or they manage your club, you love them. When they don't, you can't stand them. And I think that's certainly the opinion, not across all of football fans, but I know certainly looking at social media that certain fans aren't keen on some of the antics that you get from Thomas Frank. Graham Potter, not the same sort of character, but certainly took his chance. He worked in Scandinavia, brief time at Swansea, and off the back of that offered the Brighton job, really rose into that role. But here come Brentford now with a chance down the right hand side. Sergi Canos gets to the edge of the area, his cross gets a slight deflection, so the ball now is cleared back up towards the halfway line. Christopher Ager just gets caught with the ball now, and Janssen having to track back here, and eventually Brentford just about to make it up, but Janssen again giving the ball away. It's out for a throw, and it is going to be a throw to Brighton, and Brentford really just need to be a little bit more organised in defence there. 2 occasions they had to try and get rid of that ball, unable to take them. Brighton take the throw. It's now with Trossard right in that left corner. Being closed down there, Trossard tries to get a ball in, which deflects out for a throw. Brentford slowly but surely edging away from their own penalty area. But it's not been a good half in terms of attacking football from either side. But in terms of if this was a boxing match and to try and at least split them with the points decision, I think you've got to say that Brentford are certainly second best at the moment. I still think that Brighton have just a bit more about their game so far. And here Christopher Ager has been told by the referee to back away. Taking that throw on from too far up the right touchline. Which generally is one of the easiest things to get away with on the football field, isn't it? It's the position of a throw. But Cucurella now trying to win that ball back for Brighton. And in doing so, he gives a free kick away. It's Brian Mbeumo who was brought down. Waiting to take this free kick on the right-hand side is Christopher Ager. Goes back to Pontus Janssen. We've got about 90 seconds of regulation play to left in this first half. Still goalless across all the 3 p.m. Premier League kickoffs today. No goals being scored as yet. As Brentford dawdle with it inside their own half, and they're made to pay straight away. Mopé picks it up, and now it's back on the right-hand side here with Moder. Moder to Mopé, who goes down but isn't brought down. Referee could have easily given a free kick there, says no. And then Mbeumo is away for Brentford now, down the left-hand side. Runs straight into trouble though, and a strong challenge there as well, but a fair one. Complaints there from the Brighton players. Now on the halfway line, Norgard turn for Brentford, but loses the ball in doing so. It's now played forward, headed forward by Pontus Janssen. Sergi Canos now finds Vitaly Janelt, and Janelt just gets stopped. Well, we're going to get stoppage in play here because Adam Lallana has just hit the deck, and he seems to be having some breathing problems. Certainly the urgency with which the medical staff came on to check him suggests that there was something pretty serious. seem to be checking his neck now as well there, Adam Lallana. Physios are on to have a look at him. We'll see from the replay here what's exactly happened. Lallana has just clashed there with Baptiste. He seems to have just caught one flush in the face there. He was turning, seems to run into a little bit, run into Shandon Baptiste a bit, and he just needs a little bit of time now to be able to pick himself up. But potentially he may be getting a goal at Old Trafford just before. So, I mean, a couple of half-time scores already in the Premier League. It is goalless between Southampton and West Ham, and between Watford and Wolves it's just gone to half-time at the Emirates. Still goalless between Arsenal and Norwich, but Manchester United have taken the lead against Newcastle, and I don't even need to tell you who the goal scorer was. You probably guessed already. It's the returning number 7 that gets the goal for Manchester United in injury time at the end of the first half. We're into injury time here at the Brentford Community Stadium. We are going to get 4 minutes of it. Adam Lallana is back on his feet, thankfully, and he should be okay to play on once play resumes. Potter there full of thought, but he'll be pretty pleased that his midfielder is okay. Just to remind you, other players on the bench are the Brighton bench, I should say, today is Richards, Sherpen, Alzate, March, McAllister, Roberts, Lacadia, Steele, and we've already seen Modder come on earlier in this first half. As for Brentford, it is Jensen, Force, Rasmussen, Visser, Onyeka, Thompson, Jorgensen, Godos, and goalkeeper Alvaro Fernandez. A couple of those new Brentford signings on the bench as well. But here come the Bees now down the right-hand side with a great run here from Canos. He puts the ball in, but the cross in the end too close to the goalkeeper. Run down that right-hand side. Canos found Ager, who was streaming forward, but as the ball was put in, it was a bit of a centre-back's cross, you could say, without being too cruel. That the ball was always just a bit too close to the goalkeeper. Clearance now from Sanchez. The top, headed down. Now drops to Cucurella on the left-hand side. That's a poor ball from him. Goes straight through to Ivan Toney, and then Toney feeds the ball into the box here for Mbeumo. Mbeumo gets that ball onto his left foot and strikes it wide. What a great chance that was. Brian Mbeumo with that supposedly trusty left foot on this occasion can't find the target. Great chance that was for Brentford to take the lead right at the end of the first half in a game where they haven't been best for long periods. Mbeumo prefers everything on that left foot, so he cut back onto his left, had the time, wanted to really measure that one into the corner. It just wasn't curling enough there from Mbeumo. He certainly can't pull the effort in building up to that chance. So we've got a minute of injury time to play in this first half. Longer clearance now from Robert Sanchez. Drops straight to Norgard. Played over the top, headed away by Lewis Dunk, and then Cucurella gets a bit more distance on the clearance as well. It's bouncing in front of the Brentford penalty area. Ager just a bit hesitant at first, but he does get to the ball and then finds Canos, who is brought down as he tries to spin and turn. So that will be a free kick to the home side. That collision there between Trossard and Canos. Both players just need a moment here to pick themselves up. Looks as though Canos was caught by Trossard, and in falling he's then hit his studs into Trossard, who's also felt a bit of pain. But the Brentford man is back up on his feet, as is the Brighton man as well. And we're playing on now. We've had the full 4 minutes of injury time. I'm not really sure what other time the referee is adding on here. It's a long clearance now from the goalkeeper up towards the edge of the penalty area. Raya, though, stepping out and making the save. And that should be it as far as this first half is. I'm not really sure where John Moss is getting all this additional time from. But Raya now waiting to clear this. And you'd imagine that once he puts this ball up in the air, that should be it as far as this first half is concerned. But no, we play on for the time being. Ivan Toney thought he was being fouled. Referee disagrees. On the left-hand side now. Back into the middle here. Chance for Janelt. Carries on his run, gets a strike in, which is charged down by Sanchez. The loose ball is back with Rico Henry. Gets that ball into the penalty area. Now it's with Baptiste, who can't quite keep possession. Then the ball deflects off of him, and the referee, Graham Scott, ends the first half at the Brentford Community Stadium. It's been a tough first half with very few chances, and it is Brentford 0, Brighton and Hove Albion 0, and I'm back in 15 minutes for second half of Tube Studio Commentary.